Hello, welcome, Practical English Stories today. Jack Life English. Jack's Big Dream, a story of determination, learning, and success. Chapter 1, Big Dreams in a Small Town. Once upon a time, in a peaceful little town surrounded by green hills and flowing rivers, there lived a boy named Jack. Jack was a curious, cheerful child with a big imagination. However, his biggest struggle was learning English. At school, English classes were available, but for Jack, the words and grammar rules felt like a complicated puzzle. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't fully understand what he read, struggled to write, and had difficulty pronouncing words correctly. Because of this, he was always nervous in English class and avoided answering the teacher's questions. But Jack had a big dream. One day he wanted to travel the world, visit different countries, meet new people, and learn about their cultures. But first he had to learn English. Chapter 2, An Old Book and a New Hope. Jack's family wasn't rich. His father was a carpenter, and his mother ran a small bakery. Jack enjoyed helping them, but deep inside, he was searching for a way to learn English. One day he visited the town's old library. As he browsed the shelves, he found a worn-out book with a faded cover and yellowed pages. The title read English for Beginners. It was a learning book filled with basic words, everyday expressions, and simple stories. Excited, Jack borrowed the book and immediately started studying. However, learning alone was difficult. Some words didn't make sense to him, and he had no idea how to pronounce them. Just as he was about to give up, the librarian, Mr. Thompson, approached him. Mr. Thompson was a kind man who had lived in the big city for years and spoke excellent English. He noticed Jack studying the book carefully and smiled. "Jack, are you trying to learn English?" Jack nodded. "Yes, but it's really hard." Mr. Thompson patted Jack's shoulder and made him an offer. "If you want, come here every day after school. I can help you learn." Jack's eyes lit up. Without hesitation, he accepted. Chapter 3, The First Lessons and Great Progress. From that day on, Jack went to the library every afternoon after school. Mr. Thompson started with simple words, pronouncing them slowly and having Jack repeat them. Then they moved on to forming basic sentences. As time passed, Jack's pronunciation improved, his vocabulary expanded, and, most importantly, his confidence grew. Mr. Thompson didn't just teach Jack English, he also taught him an important life lesson. Jack, learning English takes patience and discipline, but if you practice every day, one day, you will speak fluently. Jack never forgot those words. No matter how difficult it was, he promised himself that he wouldn't give up. Chapter 4, Jack's First Speech. As Jack's English improved, he became more active in school. One day, his English teacher asked each student to give a short speech in front of the class. At first, Jack hesitated, but then he remembered Mr. Thompson's advice, took a deep breath, and stood up. His speech was titled My Dream. It wasn't perfect, but he spoke with all his heart. When he finished, the entire class clapped. For the first time in his life, Jack felt truly accomplished. Chapter 5, A new life in the big city. Years passed, and Jack grew into a young man. With Mr. Thompson's guidance, he had mastered English. After finishing high school, he decided to move to a big city for university. The city was overwhelming at first. People spoke fast, signs were filled with unfamiliar words, and everything felt different. But Jack didn't give up. He practiced speaking English every day, wasn't afraid of making mistakes, and kept improving. To support himself, he got a part-time job at a cafe. There he had the chance to talk to foreign customers and further develop his language skills. One day, a well-known businessman walked into the cafe. Jack served him and had a short conversation in English. The businessman was impressed and offered Jack an internship at his company. Jack didn't miss this opportunity. He accepted immediately. Now he was working at a prestigious company, getting closer to his dream. Chapter 6, Jack Fulfills His Dream Years. Later, Jack had become a confident English speaker. He was finally ready to travel the world. His first destination was London, then Paris, New York, and Tokyo. One day he returned to his hometown and visited Mr. Thompson. He stood before his mentor and spoke fluently in English. "Mr. Thompson, thank you for believing in me. Because of you, I achieved my dreams." Mr. Thompson smiled, his eyes filled with pride. Jack, you achieved this through your own determination. I only showed you the way. Conclusion. The inspiring story of Jack's story teaches us the power of determination and perseverance. Once a boy who struggled with English, he had now traveled the world and worked at an international company. Jack's journey reminds us, don't be afraid of making mistakes. Be patient, take small steps every day, and fight for your dreams. Now, after Jack's inspiring story, let's move on to another exciting tale. If you like the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. See you later.